What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Crash Course Metal Show. I'm your host, Krash, and we brought back our buddy AJ. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Oh, good. Just about ready to talk one of, I think, our favorite overall albums here in this episode. So we decided, me and AJ here, that we were going to talk about one of our favorite albums, like I said, and that is going to be Warrant's third album. It came out in 1992, Dog Eat Dog. So, at this time here, 1992, very good year for hair metal, blues metal, sleaze metal type deal, but not for sales, not for like mainstream purposes. But a lot of good albums came out in 1992. And this one here is no exception, but it just didn't sell well. It did go gold, but it's not a good year. If you want to attest to that there, AJ?
No, I mean, that's when the whole grunge stuff started coming out. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that kind of was killing that era slowly but surely, So, I mean, that's why none of those albums really did well, and they really didn't have a chance for anybody to really listen to them because, people were turning their ear to Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Alice and all that stuff. So, I mean, like Dog Eat Dog, for example. And I mean, we'll get on it in a second. My opinion on this album.
Yeah, so definitely. So it did peak in, what was it? It peaked at 25 on the top 200 Billboard, but it obviously didn't last long. It did go gold, like I said, but yeah, it's compared to where they were their first two albums commercially. This was definitely considered a flop. So, but it's anything but a flop, and we will get to that. So definitely here on this album, you got Jani Lane on vocals, one of the best songwriters of the era, and Joey Allen on lead guitar, Eric Turner on guitar, Jerry Dixon on bass, and Stephen Sweet on drums. So we can jump right in here to the album, and so first song, you got the first single as well, and music video single, Machine Gun. So tell me a little bit about Machine Gun there, AJ.
Machine Gun was heavy, especially for maybe they kind of got into what Skid Row did with Slave to the Grind a little bit. Like their first song was, heavy. Monkey Business, it's heavy, and then but that's why I think Warrant was coming into. They were like, okay, so we need to adapt to what's going on around us. And so they wanted that heavy single to come out. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, the intro of it is like, it's killer. So, I mean, I love the song. I mean, it's just what it is. And I just feel like they were trying to adapt to what was going on. I mean, that's my opinion, of course. But I mean.
And that's a good point, because I brought this up on my Brittany Fox video. That's a good point, how you, like, from the first albums of Skid Row, they went like kind of a different direction. They went super hard, and it's kind of the same thing with Dog Eat Dog. And with Machine Gun, right out of the gate what you're going to be getting for pretty much most of this album. And it is probably their hardest song and heaviest song in the classic era of Warrant, I think.
You're right.
It's right up there with another one, and we'll get to that later on this album. But moving on though, definitely guys check out Machine Gun. So got Hole in My Wall next, and which is also pretty heavy in its own right, but just a little bit slower. It has that like mid-tempo groovy feel to it. It also has a talk box in it, so it gives them that. They do that just around in the solo area, I believe, middle of the song, and it just gives it a whole new uniqueness, and I just really enjoy it. Hole in My Wall, AJ, what you got here?
Love it. I mean, you pretty much hit it. I mean, that's what more you can say about it. It's a great song,
right?
Like you said, the box in it and everything. It was just a great song. It's like you said, it's very unique, especially for Warrant. So I mean.
Exactly. And I'll just say this now, because I was going to say probably to save it towards the end, but this whole album just sounds different, especially from if you're expecting Cherry Pie or the first album.
I feel like Danny Lane went a little dark, if that makes sense, on this album.
He did, and this is around the time him and Bobby Brown had a little bit of a falling out. Is it like the beginning of that or the end of it? I don't know the exact timeline on that, but that definitely has a role to play in his songwriting on this album. So yeah, we'll get to the darkness right now. April 2031. I'll let you go first because I have a little bit to say about this and the next song. So yeah.
I mean, I really don't. I mean, I like the song. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, that's my reaction for it.
Okay, I'll take the stage here then.
Yeah, please.
Okay. April 31, man. I love this song, and I always pair it. I always play it with the next song on the album. Andy Warhol is right, because when I first really dove into this album, I thought they were both the same, like a part of one song. I thought they were both song, and it kind of worked better, I think, for me. I enjoyed it as one song instead of cutting it up into two. So because I think Andy Warhol was right, is not as strong because I kind of thought it, because April 2031. It has a destroying, the humans destroying the planet, and you're in 2031 and the world's basically destroyed, doomsday type deal stuff. And it just has a creepy feel to it. But I think when Andy Warhol song starts, I feel like it just feels like it's the end. Like you're picking up where that song left off in the atmosphere, so it's similar atmosphere. So that's why I kind of put them in the both same peas in a pod. So, but yeah, do you have anything on Andy Warhol's right?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I felt like it was a kind of, both those songs were like a theme, I guess you can say, and they kind of fit together in a weird sort of way. But you're right. I mean, that's what I kind of, when I heard it, I was like, what is what is he talking about? What's going on? And
yeah, I mean, this definitely isn't on the same theme as Heaven or Sometimes She Cries. Yeah. So yeah, definitely different. And it is strange too. This is the third and fourth song on the beginning of the album here. So you're jumping in head first here on the deep end with The Dark Side of Warrant. So, and I think it totally works if you're ready for it or you're open-minded to it. But if you're expecting Cherry Pie, you're probably not gonna dig it as much. So, but nothing wrong with either one of them. I'm just gonna say that right now. But so yeah, we'll move on here to track number 5, Bonfire. Okay, now you're starting to get back into the party atmosphere a little bit.
Right.
You're starting to get a little bit more of what Warrant is, but it has a nice crunchy riff, good party vibe, like I said. Just not much wrong with it, but not the greatest either, so, but definitely worth listening to as well. And anything to add to that?
I mean, I felt like he just had to get those 3 dark songs in real quick. I felt like, and then he was like, okay, let's bring Warrant back to the way it was, and with Bonfire.
Well, and it definitely broke up the slowness too, because like I said, Hole in My Wall isn't the fastest song either. So basically out of the first 4 songs, you have one true heavy faster song, and Bonfire brings that back in. But then you go right back though after Bonfire to track number 6, The Bitter Pill. So this is a really good ballad as well, but you're kind of back in a little bit of a dark theme a little. So that's kind of like the recurring theme a little bit here, at least on side 1. Definitely on side 1 is definitely on the darker tone of things. Right. So, but you get that choir though too in Bitter Pill, which is really, really good. You get those different breakdowns and stuff. So it's definitely not your Heaven's run of the mill power ballads. So
that's what I was going to say. The breakdowns were the best part of that song in Bitter Pill. Pretty much that's what the best part about that song is, the breakdowns.
I agree. I agree. Everyone that listens to this, that's always their first remark is the breakdown of it, how powerful that feels. So but yeah, I prefer both versions of the song because they did an acoustic version of this where it's just Janie, no choir, I believe, and then one that's the electric version that is on the album. The acoustic was just released as a video, I believe. So, or maybe like a what do they call that, like side B's, like, stuff like that. So,
Yep.
But yeah, definitely Bitter Pill, very good ballad. Then we go moving on to another different sounding song from Warrant. Track number 7, Hollywood, So Far So Good. Mid-tempo acoustic style. It ever since I first listened to this album about 15 or so years ago when I bought it, it always reminded me of Jane Says from
Jane's Addiction.
Yes. And it just reminds me of that for some reason. But I like this. I love Hollywood better than Jane Says, which Jane Says is a fine song, but I just always prefer Janie's writing over that. So
yeah.
But yeah, you want to hit on Hollywood?
No, I mean it's like I said, like earlier, it's like he kind of keeps going back and forth, and Hollywood was like, so far so good, and that's pretty much he was getting back into that vibe with that era again.
Right.
And I mean, like you said, the acoustic is perfect for the song, and the lyrics on that song is really great.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, he keeps kind of going back and forth with the darkness to the little party stuff, and then you know what I mean. So
yeah, so we'll jump into that a little bit here. Not so much as far as party, but more of like the classic Warrant sound on track number 8. All My Bridges Are Burning. Now, if you had to tell me pick one song out of this to give a Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich or a Cherry Pie loving Warrant loving fan, this would probably be the song, because this is the most classic, or not classic, but like this is what the first 2 albums kind of sound like, brought onto this album. So nothing wrong with the song at all.
But, no, not at all.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but definitely not the best though on this album as well. So it's good though. It's good. Worth checking out. Same with pretty much the rest of the songs on this album. But yeah, you want to hit on Bridges?
I mean, you pretty much covered it. Okay.
So, and then we'll move on to Quicksand now, which I will say is probably, it's down on the lower half for me, this song. It's a good song still. But it's nothing really special compared to the rest of the album. Kind of a little bit like All My Bridges Are Burned. Very listenable stuff, still good songwriting, but just not the first 5 songs I'm going to pick off of this album to listen to. So
I don't know.
Oh man, okay. Well, like I said, the songwriting is very good. I do like.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I love Quicksand a lot. I mean, it's not my favorite song on the album, but it's pretty much top 3. Top 3.
Top 3. Okay. All right. Oh, okay.
I love it.
Man. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not going to hit top 3 for me. I'll say that right now. But like I said, I can listen to it all day as well. But it's just not going to be the first 5 that I pick. Right. So, but very good lyrical though. I do like.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree. I like always how he says, "I'll write a letter to my baby." I like how that song begins as well. Yeah. Very cool. So, but what I really want to talk about now and get your view on is the next song, the ballad. That's better, I think, than Bitter Pill. Track number 10, Let It Rain. Tell me before I go crazy here.
Okay. All right. So I'm probably going to get a lot of hatred. Well, you're probably going to get a lot of hatred for this. And Warrant fans are probably going to light your comments up, be like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. Believe me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. This by far is the best Warrant ballad I've ever heard. And it's the lyric wise.
Okay. All right. Good. I thought you were going the other way with that. Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's better. It's so much better than Heaven. It's so much better than Sometimes She Cries. I Saw Red, Blind Faith, all that.
Yes.
This song right here absolutely kills anything.
Yes.
The ballad wise of Warrant. It's great. Everything in the lyric wise, from the first word to the last word, every bit of that song is perfect.
Right.
And that's my opinion. I love it. That's my number 1 song on the album.
Okay, and I can I'm going to be 99.9% agreement, because I will say, like I do really like I Saw Red, but it's not better than Let It Rain. I will say that Let It Rain is the best Warrant ballad there is.
Absolutely.
And you know my ballad playlist, it's over a day long in length if you let it play the whole time. And this song is top 10 of all time ballads for me. Easy. I don't know. I know I'm probably putting you on the spot for your whole catalog of stuff that you have. But definitely a top 10 overall ballad, power ballad of the era for me. It's
such a great song. I don't understand. Like, to be honest, and God rest his soul, but I think he should have brought that song out earlier and before Dog Eat Dog. But in another sense, Dog Eat Dog, it fits well on that album.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Now, I agree with that. And I feel like now Bitter Pill has its special spots, for more of a commercial. But then again, right. I mean, you're a 92, so it is like power ballads aren't really the thing anymore. Right. So, but I mean, you still got Firehouse doing like When I Look in Your Eyes, stuff like that. And Slaughter, like you're still getting some power ballad traction.
They can get away with that stuff though,
Yeah, I know, but yeah, definitely Let It Rain is absolutely beautiful. That's, like I said, top 10 all-time ballad for me, no question. So, all right, moving on here to track number 11, Inside Out, which is actually I really enjoy the song. I like the song a lot. It's fast, it's hard, just very fun. And I like how in the end, if you have your like earbuds turned up really loud, you'll hear Janie Lane say, "Get this mic out of my effing face."
Yes. That was the best part.
It is because like you just don't expect that from Janie, because like Janie's like a real cool dude, and but it's just the pace of the song, the temp, just the vibe of that song matches up perfectly with him saying that at the end. And there's absolutely not one note played when he's saying that. So like somehow that makes the song. I don't understand, but that's always something that was always in my head when listening to the song, and it's badass. So did I pretty much take the words out of your mouth there on
I mean that's it. I mean, it was just, get this mic out of my, and I was like, damn, Genie went gangster on somebody. You know what I
mean? He went gangster on that microphone stand. Goddamn. So, yeah, so definitely a real good song. Like I said, that's probably going to be a top 5 on this album for me, Inside Out. I do enjoy that. And then you come up to the album closer here, Sad Teresa. I hear mixed emotions on this, and I want to hear what you had to say about this song first.
I love it. I mean, and it's part of, like, if I had to make a Warrant playlist of 10 songs, I would definitely add that song to.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
all right,
it is what it is to some people, but I mean, I don't know. Right. It's to the point. It's kind of cheesy, but it's great. A
little bit, but yeah, it's still a good song. Not, like I said, probably not going to make like the top half for me on this album, but still very good, very listenable. And I seen that it was originally made for Plain Jane.
Right.
So that is correct then. So yeah, that's kind of interesting that they just kind of threw that on, I guess, on the end of the album and said, "Here you go, here's an extra track," basically. But it fits the album well though too. So,
like, I remember on the tape when I had the tape, I still got it, but I mean, when I got it after Inside Out, it took a couple minutes before Sad Teresa played. Now the CD, you can just like skip to it, or Spotify or anything. But it took like a couple minutes to get to the song. I think it was like a special song back then. You know what I mean?
You're 100% correct, because like when I listen to this album the whole way through, because even on the CD it does that still. It's like at least 45 seconds, like you said, maybe longer. And it's like, oh, okay, is this the end of the album? And then you hear like that snare drum, and then it goes like Sad Teresa, So it is it's a good song. It's definitely worth checking out as well. And just, guys, basically this whole album is worth checking out. This is one of those that just kind of got away. Just even from like hair metal fans and headbangers, it's a shame that it did, I don't know why so much, other than, you know, like the Alice in Chains, Nirvana. But like
Right.
you would think like even within our ranks, it would be held a little higher than
Right.
say Cherry Pie or Dirty Rotten, which, like I said, both are great albums in
Right.
their own right. But you know, I give this a 4.5 out of 5 at least, if not a 5 out of 5 on some days.
Yeah, I'm about
Yeah.
to say 5 out of 5. This is their best album ever, and
Oh no, I agree.
it is by far.
I
It's their
agree. I agree. That nothing's getting past 4.5. And I'm very critical on like ranking like perfect 5 out of 5 albums.
right.
So like,
This is
yeah,
in my opinion, it's a 5 out of 5 album. Like
right.
it was straight, like in your face, and I loved it. Like the first time I heard it, I loved it.
I think the best way we could describe this album is it's a very personal album.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And especially like I said, with April 2031, Andy Warhol, you feel that, especially Andy Warhol, because he talks about like a kid killing, like going like mass suicide or mass murder spree and then killing himself or something like that. So definitely very personal. It puts you in that vibe and like in that headspace of, you know, being in their shoes. So it's very good songwriting. And that's one more thing we didn't touch on it, but Jane Lane was one of the top songwriters of the 80s, or of hair metal, whatever you want to say. Very, very underrated, because, you know, you always hear, oh, Cherry Pie. Oh, that's such good songwriting, but no, that's not it. You got to listen to the whole catalog here. So but yeah, this album's so heavy and different and personal. And that's the 3 words that we can say, and it's beautiful. So, all right, anything else really to say about this album?
We covered it.
I think we did very passionately. We did.
I know people start to agree with us, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but this album is their best album ever.
I agree 100%. Oh God, it's so good. I can always enjoy listening to it because it's in steady rotation. At least once a month I play it.
Yeah.
So very good. So guys, let us know in the comments what is your favorite Warrant album. Tell us what your favorite Warrant album is if it isn't Dog Eat Dog. But for us, it's going to be Dog Eat Dog. So
yes.
Definitely. Yeah, so definitely. All right, guys, this is Crash. That's AJ. Thank you for watching the Crash Course Metal Show, and we will see you guys later.